Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, we were doing a couple of tasks for the Horsemaster, namely planting some watchtowers, or at least setting them up to be built. Now that we just have one left, it's nearby. It's just rather frustrating that I can't get to it. Oh, I've got so many enemies. We're surrounded by enemies, and I don't... There's a Fade Rift down that way that I have no interest in dealing with. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to try and sneak around the back here, and hopefully there will... Oh, hello. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, hopefully there will be a way up this way. Or at least I'm hopeful. There we go. Hey, that was easy. Good stuff. Hey, that wasn't as difficult as I thought it'd be. Lovely. Oh, there's a thing just here. I'm right. Go on. Go on. Right before I head back to Haven, I'll look at this. What am I looking at? That's the... Oh, it's a little cave. Hello. Stronghold of the apostate mages. Are you tired of letting the witless fools bind you with their fear? Come to the Witchwood. Follow the signs. We will be free to work our craft. Free to become the new gods we have always known we truly are. An unsigned letter written in a large and excited hand. That's not good. I mean, if you just want to practice magic in the woods, like, you do you, but you can't be trying to become gods. That's not on. It's really not. Now then, Aenor, let me find my notes for you. Aenor. There you are. Okay, where were we up to? Okay, the last one we got was that, so... We want this one, Whirlwind. Always a good time. Lovely jubbly. Let me just go back to my timer. Good stuff. Okie doke. Now then. Now then, now then. No. I know you're close, but no. No, we stick to the plan. We get to the... Hang on, can I just... I can. No, I want to... World map. That's how we do it. Okay, let's head back to Haven. So many ramps. All of them dead. But it was for a good cause. There we go. Where are we? Okay, we're here. Good stuff. I'll talk to my companions at some other time, I think. Oh. Again, this is...
We've got scattered reports of winter sightings in the Hinterlands.
Oh.
Mages.
And their servants, yes.
Touch me with fire that I be cleansed.
You think they might be connected to the attack on the Conclave?
Assumption, Scout Palain. No Circle Mage has ever caused anything like the breach.
Fair point.
Very true. No Circle Mage ever has. However, you know, the Tevinters did cause the blights by sundering the veil and trying to break into the Golden City.
Anyway, doesn't sound elven.
I said you could call me that, Scout Palain. I never said it was my name.
You're a bit terrifying at times, Charter.
Why? Because you're realising that every elf you casually call Knife Ear might have a life you know nothing about?
I was hoping you'd forgotten about that.
In this line of work, we can afford to forget nothing.
Oh, Scout Palain, Charter never forgets. Charter never, ever forgets. Oh, you poor sod. Excuse me? Oh, dear. Well, this isn't good. Hello?
Your kind killed the most holy. Lies. Your kind let her die. Shut your mouth, mate!
Enough!
Knight Captain.
That is not my title. We are not Templars any longer. We are all part of the Inquisition.
And what does that mean, exactly?
Back already, Chancellor. Haven't you done enough?
I'm curious, Commander, as to how your Inquisition and its herald will restore order as you've promised.
Of course you are. Back to your duties, all of you.
Oh, Roderick, you bitch. I love you. Oh, God.
Mages and Templars were already at war. Now they're blaming each other for the Divine's death.
Which is why we require a proper authority to guide them back to order.
Who? You? Random clerics who weren't important enough to be at the Conclave?
The Rebel Inquisition and its so-called Herald of Andraste? I think not.
Oof. Oof. What a burn from Cullen. Random clerics who weren't important enough. Damn. I'm not the Herald. We're not so terrible. The proper authority failed. Yeah, I'm not the Herald, sir. It's fine.
I don't believe I'm Andraste's herald any more than you do, Chancellor.
That laudable humility won't stop the Inquisition from using a misconception when it suits them.
The Inquisition claims only that we must close the breach or perish.
You say that now, Commander. We shall see if the sentiment remains true.
Cullen, why is he here? Is the Mage Templar War that large? But who killed the Divine? All very good questions. Why is Chancellor Roderick just hanging about here? I mean, it's a free country. He can be here, but like, why?
Remind me why you're allowing the Chancellor to stay.
Clearly, your Templar knows where to draw the line.
He's toothless. There's no point turning him into a martyr simply because he runs at the mouth. The Chancellor's a good indicator of what to expect in Val Royeaux, however.
Great. Great. Aenor's just like, please keep on reminding me that I will have to go and talk in front of a crowd to people who really don't like me, and I'm going to have to persuade them. Please keep reminding me of that fact, Cullen. Oh, fabulous.
How widespread is the violence between Mages and Templars?
Impossible to say.
Your organization flouting the Chantry's authority will not help matters.
With the Conclave destroyed, I imagine the war between Mages and Templars is renewed with interest.
Oh god, Aenor just... It was bad enough seeing that in the Hinterlands, but the idea that, you know, like, that's not even the worst of it. That's just, like, the tip of the iceberg. And it's so much more widespread than Aenor could have ever really have grasped. That is horrifying to her. Like I said, she really doesn't want to go and talk to the clerics. She would much rather be amongst the refugees, helping them out. That's what she's good at. She's a doer. She can get shit done. Trying to persuade, doing charisma stuff, she's just like, I'm so uncomfortable with this. This is not... No, please, Josephine, why aren't you here? Why aren't you doing this?
The Mages and Templars are fighting, even though we don't know what really happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
Exactly why all this should be left to a new divine. If you are innocent, the Chantry will establish it as so.
Or we'll be happy to use someone as a scapegoat.
You think nobody cares about the truth? We all grieve Justinia's loss.
But you won't grieve if the Herald of Andraste is conveniently swept under a carpet.
Please stop calling me that, Cullen. I know I keep calling Roderick a bitch, and he is a bitch, but I don't... Here's the thing, I don't necessarily mean that as an insult. It's... How do I put it? Because here's the thing, he clearly cares. I like Roderick. I don't hate him. I'm not like, oh, he's a bitch. Like, that's not the tone I'm using. I'm like, oh, what a bitch. Jokey, jovial. That's how I mean it. Like, how do I put into words how I feel about Roderick? I like him. I don't think he's a bad person. He clearly means well. You know, Justinia is dead. He's grieving her loss. And here comes this Inquisition that, you know, has this person who potentially was involved in Justinia's death, and they're using them as this, like, Herald of Andraste figure, and Justinia is kind of being left at the wayside. We can't forget about the Chantry. The Chantry has done so much good, and by the Inquisition coming in, you're undermining hundreds of years of work, and he doesn't want to see the Chantry reduced to rubble. And I mean, we all know what happens with Roderick later on. I'm not going to spoil it, but we all know the cutscene with Roderick later on, and I love him in that cutscene. It's like he just has bitchy energy. Like when Cullen's trying to calm everyone down, there's Roderick in the back being like, "Oh really? How will the Herald of Andraste restore order?" Just swaggering in, being like, "I'm going to put the cat amongst the pigeons." Like he just has bitch energy, and I love him for it. Oh, Roderick, you do you. You do you, mate. I'll return with good news. Good luck keeping the order. I hope the trip is worth it. Think positively. Aenor is bricking it, you know, thinking about like, oh god, I'm going to have to talk to all of these people. However, we think positively. We're not going to assume that this is going to go to shit, you know, like, because if you do that, then, like, it will go to shit. You know, if you think negatively, you're going to attract negative energy. So, like, we'll be positive and just keep wiping the sweat from our brow as we try not to throw up with nerves.
I'll make sure they see reason in Val Royeaux.
I pray you're right.
Yes. Aenor's praying too. Giselle, hello. Are you going to talk?
Rumors of a way to reverse the right of tranquility.
Yes, I have heard them as well.
Would you wish to have your self restored?
I do not believe that would be wise. The number of demons present might leave me vulnerable to possession. I might also experience feelings of discomfort over events that occurred while I was in this state. I can survive in this fashion. If I were made whole again, I might not.
It is a terrible bargain we ask you to make.
All that existed was silence.
Oof.
Then the voice of the Maker rang
Oh
out.
dear. I am very sorry, lady whose name I forget.
Do you have a moment?
I might. I don't know. I wasn't expecting that.
Thank you.
No problem. Oh, You know what? Go on. We can put off going to Val Royeaux for a little while. Also, yeah, there we go. Excuse me? Hello?
Did you need something, Ambassador?
Yes. Well, not precisely, but I should like to know if anyone here has treated you unkindly, Herald, for being an elf.
Nothing I can't handle, not that I've noticed. Why? There has been some, not exactly nastiness, but like assumptions being made. Thren assumed we were a servant. Harding made the assumption of like, oh, why would you care? You're a Dalish. Like, there's been assumptions, but no one's really said anything overly nasty. So yeah, it's nothing that Aenor can't handle.
I can deal with a few whispers and sideways looks.
I shall speak with the staff regarding such conduct. If we're to convince the world that Andraste's herald is an elf, the Inquisition must give you its utmost support. Stories of wild Dalish elves have grown even more outrageous as people learn of you.
Oh, Aenor's just thinking, or hear me out, or we could not convince the world that Andraste's herald is an elf. Abby actually brought this up in the comments. What does Aenor think happened in the Fade? What does she think was the golden woman she saw if it wasn't Andraste? Aenor has two main theories. One, she was in the Fade, so it's highly likely that was just a helpful Fade spirit who was just like, hey, I'll help you out, come this way. The other main theory that Aenor is running with is that the woman didn't actually exist. She was just a hallucination because Aenor, she had just been in an explosion. She probably knocked her head against something. That woman could have just been because Aenor had a concussion. That's why she was seeing a woman. She wasn't actually there. And for anyone who was like, oh, I saw a woman through the rift, that could have just been a rock. Like a rock that was shaped vaguely like a person. And if you notice the rifts, when you look through them, there's kind of this distortion effect that could have made the rock appear more lifelike. It could have made the rock appear, to be glowing, and people just were like, oh, it was a person. Like, Aenor has very mundane explanations for what went on there. She doesn't believe it was an elven god or anything like that. Aenor's religious views, she does believe in the elven gods. She worships them. However, she's not like, every morning I get up and I pray to all of the elven gods. Even though it takes me 5 hours, I pray to all of them. And then I go out and I kill a thing and I honor Andruil by performing a ritual. And then I go and eat and I ask Solace to bless the food. Like, she's not that way inclined. She's like, oh, we got a big fight coming up. Mythal, keep me safe. Elganon, may my sword strike true or whatever. Okay, we charge. Like, she's not some super devout. She isn't an elfy elf, for want of a better word. As Sarah would say, Aenor isn't an elfy elf. She believes in the Dalish gods, in the elven gods, but she's not an incredibly devout person. As such, she really wouldn't think that, oh, that could have been Mythal or that could have been Andruil. Also, the elven gods have been gone for centuries. And the idea that an elven god would randomly appear and choose to save Aenor, like, she's like, no, that wouldn't happen. I am no one. I am not, like, her imagination isn't so fanciful that she'd be like, an elven god came back to save me. Like, no. No, like I said, she has very mundane explanations for what happened in the Fade. Stories of wild Dalish elves have grown ever more outrageous as people learn of you. Would you like to give me an example?
How have the rumors gotten worse?
I would prefer not to repeat them.
Give me something.
Stealing children, selling peasants to slavers, burning down villages, using infants for blood magic. Those are the stories about your fellow Dalish. I won't repeat what they've said about you.
Those stories are dangerous. Those stories are nonsense. That's not my concern. No, that is my concern. That is absolutely my concern, because these stories are exactly what encourage people to do stupid shit. Here's the thing. Aenor, they are nonsense. However, Aenor, when it comes to the safety of her people, and she is including the city elves in this, when it comes to the safety of her people, Aenor takes that extremely seriously. And here's the thing, I do imagine that Clan Llewellyn has had to deal with dickhead humans who have, like, rocked up on their doorstep and been like, hey, we're gonna try and kill you because we don't like the fact that you're here, and fuck you, your knife is. Like, I would imagine that Clan Llewellyn has suffered heartache at the hands of humans and their racism. So it is dangerous. Those stories encourage people to do the absolute worst shit and feel justified in doing that, and Aenor cannot tolerate it.
The humans telling those tales are the first to take a knife to someone with pointed ears. My clans defended ourselves against them more times than I can count.
Really? I had no idea. I will do what I can to end this slander, Herald. It may help if I know more about how you and your clan lived.
Not so different from humans, that's not for outsiders. Through hard work, I was happiest in the forest. Poorly, I always wanted more. No, Aenor is very happy to talk about her life as a Dalish with outsiders. That's how you break down barriers. When people realize, oh shit, you're not all that different from me, that's when they start seeing you as more than a pair of pointed ears and as an actual person. So Aenor is very happy to have a chat with Josephine. If I were playing Rosanna, she'd go for this. I was happiest in the forest. As I said, Rosanna really does wear rose-tinted glasses when it comes to the Dalish. The Dalish are amazing and like, oh, living life as a Dalish is like brilliant and blah, blah, blah. Aenor, not so much. She was happy. She loved her life. Absolutely not this one. Because Aenor didn't want more. Aenor was very happy with her life. And it was different from humans. They're living in a city. They're living in a forest. Aenor, I said this before, Aenor thinks that not everyone would do well as a Dalish. Not every city elf should be forced to live as a Dalish because it is incredibly hard work and not everyone is cut out for that task. She loved it. She wouldn't change anything about her life. Well, maybe she'd like her mum to be alive, but you know, she wouldn't change anything about her life, but she's not going to stand there and be like, oh yeah, it was easy peasy, no sweat. No, it was hard at times. There were times when she was scared. There were times when she was hungry and cold, but like, she still loved it.
Getting up before dawn to fish, constantly mending wagons and tents, spending days on the hunt. I still can't believe city dwellers have food delivered straight to their doorsteps.
Really? I never considered it extraordinary. Haven is so far away from home. You must miss the people of your clan.
I'd miss knowing you more. Again, no. We've known this lady for all of 2 weeks. No, thank you. I kept to myself. It's time I made my own name. I don't think about it very much so. Yeah, Aenor loves her clan. She loves her people. She also loves her family in Wycombe. Who knows when she's going to be able to see them again.
All my friends are there. Before I came to the Conclave, the clan was my whole world. I'd like to see them after everything is done.
I hope you get the chance. Whether you're with them or not, being the clan of the Herald of Andraste will mark them in history.
I am okay with that. I can't see her picking any of the other choices. And here's the thing, she won't have seen her maternal family all that much. Like, she saw them as frequently as they could. However, you know, she wasn't gonna make the clan stay near Wycombe indefinitely. So, like, I think that works. Her clan was her whole world. She loves her grandparents. She loves the people in the Wycombe alienage that she got to know better. You know, friends of her mother's and all of that. But, like, yeah, the clan for the most part was her whole world because she was spending, like, 95% of her time with them. Yeah, I can stand by that. They won't want a herald. I worry about that. About time elves were noticed, they would be jealous. No, I think she worries. I think she worries that, you know, her being the Herald of Andraste will have a negative effect. People will want to seek them out and they won't all be good people.
Elves and fame tend to go poorly together. I hope my clan doesn't suffer for it.
We can make inquiries as to how they fare if it worries you. Perhaps the Inquisition could lend a hand.
I was going to say the one that was you know, about time an elf had some fame. That didn't seem like Aenor. As I said, she's not like, everyone look at me, I want to be famous, I want to be the Herald of Andraste. She, like I said, she'd rather blend into the background. So I feel like, you know, her saying she worried for them, I feel like that made more sense. Okie doke. Hello, you're right. Oh, I don't know. I've only got like 6 minutes left in this episode, so you know what? We'll speak with Mother Giselle.
Greetings, Herald of Andraste. How fares your quest to seal the breach?
I'm trying. Damned if I know. People are frustrating. No, we're trying. We're giving it everything.
I'm doing everything within my power.
A task such as closing the breach is a heavy burden. I hope you do not carry it alone. We remember Andraste, but Andraste did not carry the Chant of Light alone. She had generals, advisors, And though it is considered heresy to say it, she had the aid of the elf Chartan. Do everything within your power, but remember those who would help you.
Thank you. I'm not the herald. I follow elven gods. That comparison scares me. Ooh, it's one of these three. Here's the thing. She isn't saying, like, Andraste did this, so believe in the Maker. That wasn't necessarily what she said. It feels a bit weird for her to be like, you know, like, oh, and Andraste didn't carry the chant of, like, I follow the elven gods. Like, that doesn't line up for me. Because here's the thing, we know Andraste existed. And Andraste did free the elven slaves, and she's giving respect to Chartan. You know, I don't feel like there's any need to be like, elven gods! Like, there's no need to shove that down her throat. I have in my head that this sounds petulant. I do think this is true. That being compared to Andraste, even when you take away the religious connotations, like, Andraste was... I think Aenor would agree. Andraste was a great woman. She did a lot of good for the world. She also did a lot of bad by inspiring the Chantry, but, like, whatever. Fuck it. You know, who are we to say that? Andraste lived a very difficult life, and she had all of these challenges. And she did a lot of greatness, but to be compared to such a woman is terrifying. I think that is part of why Aenor doesn't like being called the Herald of Andraste. One, you have it's very Andrastian. It's very Chantry-centric. And Aenor is like, I don't want my heritage, my culture as an elf, not a Dalish elf, as an elf, to be swept under the Chantry's rug. That's not who I am. And also, you are comparing me to someone who was very important. Like, it's like a little bit of both. She doesn't like the Chantry connotation, and she also doesn't like the fact that, you know, it's almost like she's the new Andraste, and no, Aenor has no desire to be that, to do that. So maybe this is Aenor, like, opening up, like, I'm not just going to say I'm not the Herald. I'm trying to explain to you why I don't like that comparison. Like, maybe you can stop, like, if I explain it.
You keep talking as though I'm the equal of Andraste. Do you know how unnerving that is?
I can only imagine. But we are all given to our purpose under the Maker. A sword does not ask to be forged. And frankly, if such a comparison gives you pause, I do not see that as a bad thing. In any case, I pray this Inquisition proves less brutal than its predecessor.
That's nice, Giselle. That's real nice. Like, oh, you're uncomfortable? That's a good thing. Thank you. Here's the thing. I can agree with that. Sometimes it feels good. Not it doesn't feel good. Sometimes it is good to be a little uncomfortable. The hell, I really like Theatre of Cruelty. That is just uncomfortable central. But I enjoy it. It's one of those things. Feeling uncomfortable, it makes us reflect on our actions. But, like, still, in this case, Aenor hasn't really done anything wrong. She has nothing to reflect on. And Giselle is just saying, like, oh yeah, you're uncomfortable, I don't give a shit. Oof. Oof. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Farewell. Make her go with you.
We'll talk to you later. For now, we have war table missions to get to. Because I do only have a minute left on my timer. Yes, perks! There we go. In the perks menu, you can select perks that provide unique benefits to your party. The number of available Game, what the fuck? I assume that was...
Nothing yet.
Is everyone done cutting me off? I assume that was just saying the number of perk points can be found down here. Okay. Let's just go through these. Forces, underworld knowledge, detailed study of underworld customs and their brutal but practical applications. Opens up new dialogue options related to criminal activities and grants plus 50% XP for each codex entry unlocked. I will say I think it's prudent to unlock the new dialogue options first and foremost. Masash's methods grants a 5% increase in XP and from killing foes. That's good. And then these ones we can't unlock just yet. Secrets, arcane knowledge, a detailed study of magic and the places and creatures that interact with it. New dialogue options, blah blah blah. Optimal cutting grants a 10% chance to receive extra herbs with each harvest. Eagle-eyed, training in spotting where the pattern breaks in nature and civilization. So yeah, that's an increase in the discovery range. Trainee herbalist. Yeah, we don't need that. That's fine. Connections, nobility knowledge, detailed study of politics, rhetoric, and those who wield them to best effect. Opens up new dialogue options related to nobles and politics. Sterling reputation. Merchants will pay the Inquisition 10% more for the items sold to them. Merchants will offer a 10% discount and the rare stocks. Okay, yeah, that's more crafting materials. Not really interested in that. The Inquisition, history knowledge, detailed study of Thaddeus' past. Opens up new dialogue options related to history and the chantry. Grants an additional 50% XP for each codex entry found. And even tailoring increases our inventory by 15. And tempered glass flasks. This adds the 3rd potion slot. Ooh! I kind of feel like... history makes the most sense for Aenor, because she doesn't really know anything about nobility, she doesn't know anything about magic, and she doesn't know anything about criminal activity. So I feel like I'm gonna have to go with history. Just because this is the first one, I'm assuming this is knowledge that Aenor comes into this with. You know, keepers teach the clan of the old ways. Kind of makes sense. Okay. And let's see, what do we have here? Gather coin. Thank you kindly. Accept the report. Address a nobleman's concerns. Commander Cullen, am I to understand that you are in charge of the soldiers trampling on my lawn, providing food and refuge to the scrabble of filth burrowing into my land? A plague on you, sir, for spitting in the face of an honest petitioner, for taking advantage of my distress. Did my wretched neighbour, Bantraft, whisper in your ear? Tell me what he paid you so that I may at least know the price of treachery, sir. My only consolation is that a few of the rank and file have gone to join your farce of an Inquisition. In bitterest disgust, Lord Kildan. You're a bitch as well. But you're funny. Nicely done. And Varric's Revenge. My dear Josephine, I have looked into the matter of your writer. That book, by the way, is truly dreadful and has been panned by every critic in Antiva. The publisher does not know the identity of the writer. They receive manuscripts by courier. I was able to track down the courier, however, who is receiving her packages from another courier out of Kirkwall. Best of luck, Katarina Valesti. Very nice. Now that's Gather Coin. The Bog Unicorn. What do we have over here? Soralt, Chargers, the Red Heart. Now then, let's see. Because I feel like some of those are instantaneous. Ooh, I haven't written them down, it seems. Flames. Flames. If I haven't written them down, then I feel like I said, I'm like, these feel like instant ones. I don't know, though. Either way, build watchtowers. This is the important one. The refugees in the Hinterlands face threats from bandits, demons, apostate mages, and Templar deserters. Building watchtowers in the area will help Inquisition forces ensure the safety of refugees and farmers. The appropriate building sites have already been marked. Josephine says, there are nobles near Redcliffe who will gladly help the Inquisition if we make them an offer. And Cullen says, my soldiers will have those towers up in short order. We don't want to seem like the Inquisition is simply fobbing off work on the nobility. No, we want the people to know that we are willing to get our hands dirty and do the job ourselves. So we're going to go with Cullen.
All right.
Good stuff. You know what? Yes, it is instantaneous. Okay. The Bog Unicorn. We have received an offer of assistance. I am unnerved but not opposed. It is not the first strange promise we have received, and likely will not be the last. An elegantly written note follows. The Inquisition has need, and we would provide it. We have in our possession a mount of noble spirit, fallen in battle against rage, returned to life by the boundless urge to run and serve a worthy cause and noble master. Prove what your followers already believe, that your reach is beyond this realm, that even the forces of the Fade are your ally, that death is no barrier to victory, the Collective. Cullen, our soldiers will ensure the creature arrives safely. Liliana, I'll quietly make certain nothing interferes with the arrival. Josephine will take every care with such a boon, our associates will see to it. Doesn't really matter who we send. Again, this is relying on associates. I think Aenor kind of, she'd rather build up the Inquisition as something that can stand on its own legs.
Let's see what we have.
The Bog Unicorn. The creature has arrived. It is just as unnerving as expected. Yay. And the Red Heart. Such is the reach of the threat that the Inquisition has received offers from all corners of Thedas. Perhaps this offer should not come as a surprise. A letter in flowing script. We find our kin in strange places. Though we know not if you will carry tradition with you, we would see you carry pride in some form. For the wounded sky is all of ours, whether belief is shared or not. Let all see this and convey yourself as we should be. Emma Saline var Suladin Evunara. Suladin. I'm reminded of Varolath Vin Suladin. I feel like it means strife or survival. If I can come up with a translation, then it'll be in the corner here somewhere. But yeah, so this is the elves. And again, yeah, let's have Liliana go after it. The Red Heart has arrived, and it can only be described as inspirational. Lovely. And Flames of the Inquisition Charger. We have garnered the attention of the finest armorers in the land, and they would not see our message conveyed unadored. I feel like I said that weird. And they would not see our message conveyed unadorned. They offer a mount that reflects the flames of the Inquisition. It is, by all accounts, magnificent. A block letter note follows. We would send our best, and you will know it when you see it. It is much more at home in parade as on the... It is as much at home in parade as on the battlefield. Let all who stand against you see that they stand against a force, a cause. Our skill is yours. Those of the hammer. And again, we'll have Liliana do it. The armoured mount has arrived, and it is every bit as magnificent as was promised. I apologise that I'm having so many tongue fumbles at the end. My throat is killing me. Okay. Let's see. Where was it? Investigate Sorol. Okay, that's you. And... Perfect! Excellent! Okay. Investigate Sorol. Sorol is a town of the farthest reaches... Again, I apologise for the tongue fumbles. My throat is killing me. Sorol is a town on the farthest reaches of Orlais. known for its glassworks and tainted by its great shame, and an ancestor of the current Marquis. Apostate and abomination, the shame brought such disgrace upon Soror that even his name was forgotten. Soror is a pariah and has become refuge for outcasts and the strange. But Divine Justinia V considered releasing Soror from the punishment imposed by the Chantry for the shame. She travelled to Soror on her way to the Conclave, going out of her way to do so. It remains one of the last places she visited before she died, a detail that cannot be ignored. So the reason why I have this is because I played the, oh god, what was it called? But again, the name of the little extra game will be down here. I played that before the website shut down. It was a very interesting, almost like a card game, and you played as the current Marquis of Soror. I was the scholar. No names are ever mentioned, which I liked. There was the scholar, the scornful sorceress, who looked very familiar, the huntress, the abbotess, all of this. Everyone had like titles rather than names, and it took place over 7 real-world days, and it was the Marquis preparing for Justinia's visit. At the end of my playthrough, Justinia actually removed the punishment. Soror got their ancestral mask back, and everything ended really well. Yeah, so unfortunately, because the website has since gone offline, if you didn't play it at the time, then sadly this war table mission will not spawn in for you. Cullen is not participating. Liliana says the rulers of Soror are descended from the shame and would benefit from Justinia pardoning Soror at last. They cannot be trusted. I will go to the people instead. Josephine, I will send an emissary to the 1,000-windowed castle. I'm sure we will be allowed to carry out our investigations if we make an ally of the Marquis. I do believe... Yes, we're going to go with Josephine. We have no reason to distrust these people. I know they're descended from the shame. Again, that was their ancestor. Aenor isn't going to judge them for what their ancestor did, especially if this Marquis has shown absolutely none of the same proclivities. So yeah, we're gonna send an emissary.
Let us begin.
And investigate the strange chalk markings. Excerpt from Rector's reports. Do you know this sign? A triangle, point down, 2 wavy lines through it. A lookout spotted it in chalk on a ruined wall close to one of our outposts. A cursory inquiry into the symbol has revealed nothing. Archivists are still looking. Argent thinks she saw the symbol, or something very like it, scrawled in a ledger that belonged to the Comtesse de Bayard. A sweep was done as you ordered. Excuse me. Almost every outpost of ours has been marked in this manner. Many believe we are being watched. To what end, we do not know. Cullen is not participating. Josephine says, I would follow up on Argent's lead. The Comtesse de Bayard is reclusive and has remained steadfastly neutral in all matters, but I'm certain I can find some way to gain her cooperation. Liliana, meanwhile, what about a decoy outpost set up near a trade route and watched carefully? If someone decides to take out their piece of chalk, we'll have them. This is incredibly sneaky. This is incredibly intelligent, and I think Aenor would be rather impressed with that idea, so yes.
Let's see what we have.
Excellent. Okie dokie. Alrighty then, and with that, I am just about out of time for this episode. In the next one, we will be heading to Val Royeaux. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.